said other kids would just remember it in 2 minutes. She's like, okay, well, we have 20 seconds done.
Just calm down. Kenzie, you know how this goes.
Wrong. I'm not gonna have Abby be mean to my daughter anymore. I can't do it. Abby's not perfect.
Get ready for the ultimate Dance Moms Season 6 flashback. Fire from jaw-dropping performances to the most unforgettable drama. This mega compilation is packed with all the best moments from Season 6 of Dance Moms. Performing arts woman dancing. Glowing star, what you'll see in this video, glowing star. Heavy checkmark, iconic solos, duets, and group dances, ballet shoes. Heavy checkmark, explosive Abby Lee Miller moments, face screaming in fear. Heavy checkmark, unforgettable fights and backstage drama microphone. Heavy checkmark, tear-jerking eliminations and comebacks, crying face. Heavy checkmark, stunning ALDC performances that made history trophy. The best of Season 6, iconic solos, duets, and group dances. If there's one thing Dance Moms fans can agree on, it's that Season 6 was pure gold when it came to unforgettable performances. With Maddie Ziegler's farewell season in full swing, newcomers shaking things up, and drama reaching an all-time high, the ALDC delivered some of its most iconic solos, duets, and group numbers to date. Let's break down the very best performances that left us speechless, stunned, and sometimes in tears. Maddie Ziegler's farewell tour. The Queen takes her final bow. You can't talk about Season 6 without addressing Maddie Ziegler's final stretch with the ALDC. As Abby Lee Miller's golden girl, Maddie dominated the competition world and became a household name. Her Season 6 solos were nothing short of breathtaking. Bond Girl. This sassy and stylish routine gave us all the James Bond femme fatale vibes. Maddie's control, expression, and technical precision proved why she was the star of the ALDC. The Hostage. Possibly one of Maddie's most intense and emotional solos, The Hostage showcased her ability to tell a story through dance. The fluidity in her movements and her eerie expressions made this solo unforgettable. Someone Special. Maddie's goodbye solo was filled with raw emotion, serving as a fitting end to her Dance Mom's journey. Tears were shed, and hearts were broken as she danced her way into a new chapter of her career. The duets that had us gasping. Season 6 wasn't just about solos. Some of the best performances came in pairs. Here are the duets that stole the show. Maddie and Kalani, Unbreakable. This powerhouse duet had us in awe of the chemistry between Maddie and Kalani. Their synchronized movements and emotional depth made this one of the season's strongest performances. Brynn and Kendall, Mirror Image. The perfect blend of elegance and technique, this duet showcased Brynn and Kendall's potential. Though Kendall struggled at times, Brynn's effortless performance elevated the piece. Jojo and Brynn, Better Off Now. A surprisingly intense routine, this duet highlighted Jojo's theatrical side and Brynn's polished technique. It proved that Brynn was a force to be reckoned with. Group dances that took our breath away. If there's one thing Abby Lee Miller knows how to do, it's create a jaw-dropping group routine. Season 6 saw some of the most memorable ALDC performances, each one more dramatic than the last. The Waiting Room. Arguably the most heart-wrenching group routine of the season, The Waiting Room was based on the pain of losing a loved one. The raw emotion and haunting choreography made this #1 for the books. The Vow. This piece about love and loss showcased the ALDC girls' ability to combine technique with storytelling. Kalani's standout moments solidified her as a key player in the group. Better Off Without You. A sassy, high-energy routine that had the girls showing off their jazz skills. This performance gave Kendall a moment to shine, proving she could hold her own on the team. Brynn's breakout season. Rising Star or Abby's new favorite. Season 6 wasn't just about saying goodbye, it was also about welcoming new talent. Brynn Rumfallow joined the team and immediately made waves. Her solos, such as Enter One and Diamond in the Rough, showcased her insane flexibility and emotional depth. But was Abby's favoritism toward Brynn justified? Some fans say yes, while others believe she was given opportunities that other girls deserved. The drama that stole the spotlight. Let's be real, what would Dance Moms be without the drama? Season 6 saw explosive fights, unexpected exits, and major feuds. Maddie vs. Kendall rivalry. With Maddie's exit looming, Kendall was determined to step up, but her confidence often wavered, leading to tension. Ashley versus. The mom's, Bryn's mother, Ashley, didn't hold back when it came to defending her daughter. This led to some of the most heated arguments of the season. Jojo's ALDC departure. Jojo Siwa, known for her bold personality, had a rough time fitting into Abby's vision. Her eventual exit left fans divided. Explosive Abby Lee Miller moments. If there's one thing Dance Moms fans can count on, it's Abby Lee Miller bringing the drama. Season 6 was no exception. With Maddie Ziegler's farewell looming, new dancers entering the mix, and tensions at an all-time high, Abby was at the center of some of the most jaw-dropping, scream-inducing, and meme-worthy moments in Dance Moms history. Let's break down Abby's most explosive moments from Season 6. The fights, the meltdowns, and the moments that had us all gasping in disbelief. Abby walks out, over and over again. Season 6 will forever be remembered as the season where Abby lost control, and not just once, but multiple times. From storming out of rehearsals to full-on disappearing acts, Abby's erratic behavior kept everyone on edge. The "I'm done" moment. One of the most shocking moments came when Abby stormed out of rehearsal, dramatically declaring, "I'm done with this," only to return as if nothing had happened. The moms were left stunned, the girls confused, and fans wondering if she was really ready to abandon her own team. The jail talk meltdown. As rumors about Abby's legal troubles started swirling, she became increasingly unhinged. At one point, when confronted by the moms about her lack of focus, she exploded, screaming that she had bigger things to worry about. The tension in the room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. The Maddie versus Kendall showdown, fueled by Abby. With Maddie's departure on the horizon, Kendall was eager to step up and prove she could be the new queen of the ALDC. But Abby wasn't making it easy for her. The solo disaster. When Kendall was given a solo meant to showcase her star potential, Abby's lack of confidence in her was painfully obvious. After a lackluster rehearsal, Abby went on one of her signature rants, claiming, "You'll never be Maddie." Kendall was left in tears, and fans were furious at Abby for constantly comparing the girls. The explosive showdown with Jill. Jill, always one to defend Kendall, finally snapped. In one of the biggest fights of the season, she and Abby went toe-to-toe in a screaming match that ended with Jill storming out and slamming the door. Abby's response? A smug smirk and a dismissive shrug. The Bryn versus. The team saga. Bryn Rumfellow's arrival at the ALDC was anything but smooth, and Abby's clear favoritism for the young dancer only fueled the fire. Ashley versus. The moms, with Abby stirring the pot. Bryn's mom, Ashley, was constantly at odds with the other moms, and Abby wasted no time making things worse. Whether it was openly favoring Bryn or throwing Kendall and Jojo under the bus, Abby's meddling kept the tension at an all-time high. The Bryn as the new Maddie controversy. When Abby hinted that Bryn could be the next Maddie, the other moms lost it. In one of the season's most unforgettable moments, Holly, Jill, and Jesselyn confronted Abby in a shouting match that nearly turned physical. Abby, of course, sat back and watched the chaos unfold. Abby's most unhinged rehearsal moments. If there's one place Abby thrives, it's the rehearsal room, where she can scream, insult, and belittle to her heart's content. Season 6 gave us some of her most over-the-top moments. The infamous chair throw. During one particularly tense rehearsal, Abby got so frustrated that she threw a chair across the room. The girls were terrified, the moms were outraged, and fans were left questioning whether she had finally lost it for good. The "You're all replaceable" speech. After a disappointing performance at competition, Abby unleashed a tirade on the entire team, telling them they were all lazy, ungrateful, and replaceable. It was classic Abby at her most ruthless, and it left everyone shaken. The legal drama that took over the show. As Season 6 progressed, Abby's legal troubles became impossible to ignore. With rumors of fraud charges and possible jail time, the tension behind the scenes was palpable. The confrontation with production. At one point, Abby even turned her wrath on the Dance Moms production team, accusing them of setting her up and exploiting her. In a shocking moment, she stormed off set and refused to return for filming. The emotional breakdown. In one of the rare moments of vulnerability, Abby broke down in tears during a confessional, admitting that she was scared for her future. It was a side of Abby we rarely saw, and for a brief moment, fans actually felt bad for her. Unforgettable fights and backstage drama. If there's one thing Dance Moms fans can count on, it's non-stop drama, both on and off the dance floor. Season 6 was a goldmine of explosive fights, tense showdowns, and iconic backstage moments that had us gasping in disbelief. From Abby's fiery meltdowns to the Moms' epic battles, this season gave us everything we could ask for. Let's dive into the unforgettable fights and backstage chaos that made Season 6 one of the most dramatic yet. Abby vs. the Moms. The season-long feud. Abby Lee Miller has always had a rocky relationship with the Moms, but Season 6 took things to a whole new level. The tension was constant, the yelling was louder than ever, and the insults? Absolutely savage. The epic blowout with Jill. Jill always had a short fuse when it came to Abby's treatment of Kendall, but this season, things reached a boiling point. When Abby dismissed Kendall's potential again, Jill erupted into one of the most intense screaming matches in Dance Moms history. Jill, you sabotage these girls every week. Abby, then leave. Get out. Take your kid and go. The door slam? Iconic. The tension? Unmatched. Holly takes a stand. Holly has always been one of the more level-headed moms, but even she reached her breaking point this season. When Abby continued to downplay Nia's talent and opportunities, Holly unleashed a fiery speech about respect. Holly, you are not the only person who builds stars, Abby. It was one of the rare times Abby had nothing to say in return. Backstage chaos, tears, walkouts, and showdowns. The fights weren't just between Abby and the Moms. Tensions boiled over backstage too, especially when it came to solos, favoritism, and competition day disasters. Kendall's emotional breakdown. When Kendall was given a high-stakes solo, the pressure got to her, and so did Abby's harsh criticism. Backstage, Kendall broke down in tears as her mom tried to comfort her. Jill, she just wants to make you proud, Abby. Abby, well, she's not doing a very good job. It was heartbreaking to watch Kendall struggle for approval that never seemed to come. The Brynn vs. the team showdown. Brynn's addition to the team stirred up a ton of jealousy and resentment, and nowhere was it more obvious than backstage. At one point, the other girls confronted her, questioning why Abby gave her so many solos. The tension hit a breaking point when Kalani, normally calm, snapped. Kalani, we've all been here longer than you, and we work just as hard. Brynn was left in tears, proving that being Abby's new favorite wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Abby's most explosive moments. Abby Lee Miller is a walking time bomb, and Season 6 gave us some of her most outrageous moments yet. The infamous walkout again. Abby had several dramatic exits this season, but the most shocking one happened when she stormed out right before a competition, leaving the girls without a coach. The Moms scrambled to pull everything together, and against all odds, the team still won first place. When Abby returned, instead of apologizing, she said, "You don't need me. Fine. Do it yourselves." Classic Abby. The chair-throwing incident. During an intense rehearsal, Abby got so frustrated that she threw a chair across the room. The girls sat frozen in shock, while the Moms exploded in rage. Jessalyn, you are an adult. You do not throw things in front of children. Abby, of course, showed zero remorse. The Moms versus each other. Friendships destroyed. It wasn't just Abby against the Moms. Season 6 also tore apart some longtime friendships among the women. Ashley versus Jill. The ultimate rivalry. Jill and Ashley's feud over Brynn versus Kendall was the mom fight of the season. Their constant bickering finally boiled over into a full-blown screaming match backstage. Ashley, Brynn is here because she's better than Kendall. Jill, you need to shut your mouth right now. Security was almost called. Yes, it was that intense. Jessalyn versus Melissa. The betrayal. Jojo's mom, Jessalyn, always spoke her mind, and when she accused Melissa of getting special treatment from Maddie and Mackenzie, things got nasty. Melissa denied it, but the damage was done. Their friendship never fully recovered. The most shocking exit. JoJo leaves the ALDC. JoJo Siwa was known for her bold personality and flashy bows, but Abby was never fully on board with her style. After months of clashing, JoJo and her mom decided it was time to move on. The moment she announced her departure, the girls burst into tears, and even Abby seemed a little shaken. "JoJo, I'm going to be me, and that's okay." And with that, she left the ALDC forever, only to become one of the biggest stars to ever come out of Dance Moms. Tear-jerking eliminations and comebacks. Season 6 of Dance Moms was an emotional roller coaster filled with shocking eliminations and triumphant comebacks. Whether it was fan-favorite dancers saying goodbye or unexpected returns that had us cheering, this season kept us on the edge of our seats. Let's dive into the most heartbreaking exits and the most exciting returns that define Season 6. The most shocking eliminations. When you're a part of the ALDC, no spot is ever truly safe. This season proved that even the most talented dancers could find themselves on the chopping block. JoJo Siwa's emotional exit. JoJo Siwa was always a standout with her signature bows and colorful personality, but her departure from the team was one of the saddest moments of the season. After months of butting heads with Abby, JoJo and her mom made the difficult decision to leave. The team was devastated, and even Abby, who often criticized JoJo's style, seemed to feel the impact. "JoJo, I'm going to be me, and that's okay." And with that, JoJo left ALDC and went on to become a massive superstar. Maddie Ziegler's final goodbye. Maddie Ziegler, the ultimate Dance Moms icon, had been the team's shining star for years, but her departure in Season 6 was nothing short of heartbreaking. With Hollywood calling and new opportunities on the horizon, Maddie decided it was time to move on. Her last competition with ALDC was filled with tears and nostalgia, as everyone realized the team would never be the same without her. "Maddie, this has been my home, and I'll always love it." The entire team cried as Maddie performed her final solo, making it one of the most emotional moments in Dance Moms history. Mackenzie Ziegler's bittersweet farewell. Maddie wasn't the only Ziegler saying goodbye. Mackenzie also left the ALDC, marking the end of an era. Known for her bubbly personality and impressive acrobatics, Mackenzie's exit left a hole in the team. While her departure was overshadowed by Maddie's, it was still a tough goodbye. "Mackenzie, I've grown up here and I'll miss everyone so much." Her farewell dance, a poignant lyrical number, had everyone in tears. The most jaw-dropping comebacks. For every emotional exit, there was an unexpected return that had fans cheering. Season 6 gave us some of the most epic comebacks yet. Chloe Lekasiak's surprise visit. Chloe left the show back in Season 4 after a rocky relationship with Abby, and fans never expected to see her again. But in Season 6, she made a surprise backstage visit, sending shockwaves through the ALDC. Although she didn't officially rejoin the team, her return reminded everyone of the drama-filled history she had with Abby. "Chloe, it's weird being back, but it's nice to see everyone." The fans absolutely lost their minds. Bryn Rumfallow's redemption arc. Bryn's introduction to ALDC was anything but smooth, with the moms constantly questioning her place on the team. But after a season of proving herself, Bryn came back stronger than ever, earning her rightful spot among the elite dancers. Her comeback performance was stunning, and even Abby, who rarely gives compliments, acknowledged her growth. "Abby, maybe I underestimated you." That's as close to an apology as you can get from Abby Lee Miller. Kendall's big moment. Kendall had spent years trying to step out of Maddie's shadow, and after Maddie's departure, she finally got her moment. She delivered a breathtaking solo that brought the audience to tears, solidifying her place as one of the top dancers of the ALDC. Jill, this is Kendall's time to shine. And shine she did. Stunning ALDC performances that made history. Season 6 of Dance Moms delivered some of the most breathtaking performances in the show's history. From jaw-dropping solos to unforgettable group routines, the ALDC dancers showcased their immense talent and left audiences in. Let's relive the most iconic performances that defined this season and solidified the team's legacy. Maddie Ziegler's final solo, The Hostage. Maddie's last solo with ALDC was nothing short of perfection. The emotional contemporary piece, The Hostage, was filled with raw emotion, flawless technique, and a level of storytelling that only Maddie could deliver. As she danced across the stage, it was clear that this was a farewell performance for the ages. Judges' comments: "That was mesmerizing. Maddie, you're a true artist." The routine secured a first-place win, marking a fitting end to Maddie's time with the team. Bryn Rumfallow's standout solo, Enter 1. As the newest member of ALDC, Bryn had a lot to prove, and her solo Enter 1 did just that. The lyrical routine was a turning point for Bryn, showcasing her stunning extensions and ethereal movements. Abby finally recognized her potential, and the performance silenced many of the moms who had questioned her place on the team. Jojo Siwa's fierce jazz solo, Freaks Like Me. JoJo brought her signature energy and bold personality to the stage with Freaks Like Me, a high-energy jazz routine that played to her strengths. With powerful facial expressions, sharp movements, and dazzling costume choices, JoJo owned the stage like no one else. Fan reaction: "That was the most fun performance of the season. JoJo is a powerhouse." Kendall Vert's emotional moment, Rise. After years of struggling for recognition, Kendall finally had her big moment with Rise. The contemporary piece was heartfelt and deeply personal, showcasing her growth as a dancer. The judges praised her improved technique and emotional depth, proving that Kendall was ready to step into a leading role. Jill. This is Kendall's time to shine. ALDC's most iconic group dance, The Witches of East Canton. One of the most legendary group routines of Season 6, The Witches of East Canton, blended storytelling, eerie choreography, and haunting music to create a mesmerizing performance. The dark and dramatic routine showcased the entire team's strengths and secured a well-deserved first-place finish. Abby, that is what the ALDC is all about: precision, power, and performance. The emotional tribute, Better Off Now. Following the departures of Maddie and Mackenzie, the ALDC performed Better Off Now, a lyrical piece that served as a bittersweet goodbye to their longtime teammates. The routine was a touching display of unity, friendship, and love, leaving not a single dry eye in the audience. Fan reaction: "That dance was everything." Such a beautiful tribute to Maddie and Mackenzie. The best of Season 6, stunning ALDC performances that made history. Season 6 of Dance Moms was a bittersweet chapter in the show's history, marking the final season for its biggest star, Maddie Ziegler. Loudly crying face from jaw-dropping solos to unforgettable group routines, the ALDC dancers delivered performances that left audiences in. But behind the glittering stage lights, there was plenty of tension, tears, and drama, especially as Maddie prepared to say goodbye. Let's relive the most iconic moments that defined this season and solidified the team's legacy. Maddie Ziegler's final solo, The Hostage. Maddie's last solo with ALDC was nothing short of perfection. The emotional contemporary piece, The Hostage, was filled with raw emotion, flawless technique, and a level of storytelling that only Maddie could deliver. As she danced across the stage, it was clear that this was a farewell performance for the ages. Crown judges' comments: "That was mesmerizing. Maddie, you're a true artist." The routine secured a first-place win, marking a fitting end to Maddie's time with the team. Fans everywhere were in tears, realizing this was her last time competing under Abby Lee Miller's guidance. Broken heart. Backstage drama. Abby's last words to Maddie. While Maddie's final performance was beautiful, what happened backstage was just as memorable. Rumors swirled that Abby was not happy about losing her star dancer. Abby reportedly told Maddie, "I made you who you are. Don't forget that." Maddie, always poised, kept her cool. But sources say there was major tension between Abby and Melissa, Maddie's mom. Melissa had been planning Maddie's exit for months, and Abby felt betrayed. The moms whispered that Abby was bitter, especially since Maddie was leaving to pursue a Hollywood career outside of Abby's control. Bryn Rumfallow's standout solo, Enter 1. As the newest member of ALDC, Bryn had a lot to prove, and her solo Enter 1 did just that. The lyrical routine was a turning point for Bryn, showcasing her stunning extensions and ethereal movements. Abby finally recognized her potential, but not before plenty of drama from the other moms. Jill and Ashley, Bryn's mom, were at each other's throats, arguing over whether Brynn deserved a permanent spot on the team. Fire Abby's verdict. She looked like a star up there. Jill, rolling her eyes in the background, clearly wasn't convinced. JoJo Siwa's fierce jazz solo. Freaks like me. JoJo brought her signature energy and bold personality to the stage with Freaks Like Me, a high-energy jazz routine that played to her strengths. With powerful facial expressions, sharp movements, and dazzling costume choices, JoJo owned the stage like no one else. Crown fan reaction. That was the most fun performance of the season. JoJo is a powerhouse. But behind the scenes, JoJo was already plotting her next move. With her massive YouTube following growing by the day, JoJo knew she didn't need ALDC forever. Rumors swirled that she had big plans outside of Dance Moms, and let's just say, Abby wasn't thrilled. Kendall Vert's emotional moment. Rise. After years of struggling for recognition, Kendall finally had her big moment with Rise. The contemporary piece was heartfelt and deeply personal, showcasing her growth as a dancer. The judges praised her improved technique and emotional depth, proving that Kendall was ready to step into a leading role. Sparkling Heart Jill's proud moment. This is Kendall's time to shine. Of course, that didn't stop some of the other moms from side-eyeing Kendall's rise to the top. Melissa may have been Maddie's biggest cheerleader, but Jill? She was determined to make sure Kendall was the next ALDC star. ALDC's most iconic group dance, The Witches of East Canton. One of the most legendary group routines of Season 6, The Witches of East Canton, blended storytelling, eerie choreography, and haunting music to create a mesmerizing performance. The dark and dramatic routine showcased the entire team's strengths and secured a well-deserved first-place finish. Speech Balloon Abby's praise. That is what the ALDC is all about: precision, power, and performance. But behind the scenes, tension was sky-high. Melissa was already prepping Maddie for her exit, and Abby felt abandoned. Some say Abby barely even acknowledged Maddie's contributions in rehearsals for this dance. The emotional tribute. Better Off Now. Following the departures of Maddie and Mackenzie, the ALDC performed Better Off Now, a lyrical piece that served as a bittersweet goodbye to their longtime teammates. The routine was a touching display of unity, friendship, and love, leaving not a single dry eye in the audience.